Microphone check. Microphone check. Testing sound. Testing mic. Testing sound. Testing mic. Testing sound. Testing mic. Very good morning, everyone. Very good morning, everyone. And dear viewers, this is the very start of action on day number 3 out of 4. Welcome aboard once again to Zariba's Pub, Grill and Pool Hall, located right on the edges of one of the biggest cities on the African continent, that is Johannesburg in Gauteng province in South Africa. The day is being started with round 3 of the first life. What we are having is a double life competition that is having players from 7 countries. Of course, majority of them are coming from South Africa, but also others, most especially from the Southern African Development Community region, that is from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from Malawi, from Eswatini. We also have players from Tanzania, from Kenya, and from Uganda, making the 7 plus, of course, South Africa. Tournament started 2 days ago, which was Thursday, 7th of May, when we had the first round being played for 2 lives. Then yesterday, Friday, the 8th of May, we had the second life played for 2 hours. Now today, we are having action on all tables, where we're having the first life being played for a 3rd round. Thereafter, we shall have the second life being played for a 3rd round. This 3rd session of the day shall see the first lead for its quarterfinals. The 4th and last session of the day shall be the second life being played for as well its quarterfinals. All matches shall be races to 9, and this one on all tables is purportedly, and I think realistically, the biggest match in the arena. It has Malawi's finest and number 1 ranked player, Stanford Given GINTE, taking on his rival, but in some kind of way, a new friend, that is Ibrahim Sejemba, racing tonight for a place in the quarterfinals of the First Life. Malawi's GINTE is one of 6 players that have 2 lives in the competition. Some of the others are Timothy Onid of Zimbabwe, Sakala, 2 other Zimbabweans, Malvan Makonza and Eshka Chimbwanda, but also South Africa's Aiden Joseph, as well as Uganda's Rashid Wagaba. Those 6 have 2 lives, Ibra with 1. If Ibra wins this life, he will take his life to the quarterfinals, and GINTE will be left with 1 life. If GINTE wins, he takes his first life to the quarterfinals, and yet the second life is in the round of last 16, also coming later today. 2 frames have been played, dear viewers. Ibra leads by 2 frames to 0. History in performance between the 2 players coming next shortly. We will be having a scoreboard at the top end of the table on the left. It has scores for Ibra in red, scores for GINTE in blue. Remember, the race is 9. Sorry for that breaking video, most especially those of you that are watching from the YouTube stream. I believe that now it is sorted where we are in some kind of rural setting. A few times there will be some internet glitches, but I promise that I'll be trying to work hard to ensure that when it does happen, it is fixed as soon can be. 2-0, IBRA up. GINTE trying to win the first. The two players are very talented, but in very distinct ways. Most especially the playing speed. GINTE is something else in comparison to IBRA. He'll be taking away frame number 3. Malawi's finest versus the black for his first of the match. It is now IBRA 2 and GINTE 1. As a matter of what I promised to you earlier, first time that I ever saw these two guys, most especially taking on each other, was at the Billiards Cafe Classic Double Elimination Tournament that normally happens in Osaka after every year, normally at the end of the year, normally either in December or November. Now the 2023 edition is when I saw GINTE first. In the first round, he took on a Ugandan. No, it was the second round. He took on a Ugandan that is called Glorious. A match that was a race to 9. It ended 9 frames to 1. Actually, Glorious spotted. GINTE won the first frame. Glorious, who is supposed to be a potting machine himself, won the second. Then GINTE won 8 frames in a row and won the match 9 frames to 1. After the match, I asked Glorious, who is that guy who beat you and how can you be beaten by 9 to 1 by a non-known player? Then he told me, Peter, I don't know the guy, but he was potting everything. Then I started taking keen interest in the guy. He was putting away opponent after opponent after opponent, and by the round of last 32, in a tournament that had 128 players, he had his names on both sides of the draw, and he was winning with very bizarre margins, very big margins. That's when I started taking keen interest in this guy and watching his games and streaming some. Then on the second day, he had both of his lives in the quarterfinals in some kind of way. He took on the player that was IBRA Sejemba, and GINTE won in what was a race to 9 by 9 frames to 5. IBRA dropped to the losers bracket, then beat other players including Caesar Chandiga and I think Victor Sinyeza. Then he qualified into the final using the losers side because it was a double elimination competition. He found himself having to play against GINTE twice. He had to defeat GINTE twice to win the competition, or if he lost out in the final at the first attempt, then GINTE would win the competition outright. That match that happened at around 1 a.m. the following morning was won by GINTE by 9 frames to 4. And it also saw one of the best shots I have ever streamed live. It was, I think, the first frame won by GINTE. Maybe after this match I'll be sharing to you that shot. GINTE won life number 1 and life number 2. That is the day that he announced himself. He's announced his arrival into the main scene of African pool. I also remember interviewing him after the match. In fact, his then manager, Mindres, who I will want to dedicate this action to, I shared this video to him. I hope he's watching this action. I hear he's in Malawi, but will be part of the delegation from Malawi to Zimbabwe at Queens in 10 days' time. GINTE told me he's just a hustler in the interview. It was the very first time he was playing a formal competition. In fact, being Malawian, he was always frequenting himself to Zambia because he's Nyanja, and majority of the people in Lusaka are Nyanja. They speak the same exact language. He's comfortable there. He was playing those informal comps, and then he was playing races which were under the cover, and he was beating everybody until his manager Mindres told him that, GINTE, you know what? It is high time that you started playing formal competition. The very first competition in which GINTE participated, he ended up winning it. He then became a famous guy. He could no longer hide his face around to play with fishes looking for money from them. He had to become a semi-pro player. He then got registered in the following comp, that was at Queens in Bulawayo. In 2023, he was defeated by the Ugandan, that is Caesar, in the quarterfinals. The following year, that was 2024, he continued registering in big comps, went back to billiards in Lusaka. That comp, that was won by Aiden GINTE, who reached up to the quarterfinals. He was becoming an established player. Of late, he's one of the most consistent players in Africa, most especially reaching prize brackets in most of the big comps that are organized in Africa. Last year at Club Timbuktu in Eldoret, he reached the round of last two. He was second to Eshka. He took home $6,000 after Eshka won 11,600 US dollars. GINTE being second, and also at Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo last year, earlier, he as well came second to Aiden Joseph after losing out in the final by 9 frames to 7. In the second live final as well by 9 frames to 3. In that one, GINTE reached the final with 2 lives. Aiden had to beat him twice, and Aiden did exactly that. And since Kenya, he has not been getting himself to the latter stages, but remains a very decent player. However, he has lost some of his fear factor. In fact, even at Billiards Cafe in Osaka in 2024, he's the same guy that beat IBRA, and in both lives, that marked 4 consecutive times that GINTE was beating IBRA. The very first time that IBRA beat GINTE was at the PPT, the Patriarchs Invitational Tournament, that is played on the 22nd of December every year, the day when the birth of Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa is celebrated in Harare. This year's edition is boiling. In that tournament, IBRA reached the round of last 16, and in the first round, he beat GINTE in a race to 9 by 9 frames to 4. This could be the second time that IBRA will be testing the blood of GINTE, because as the Ugandan leads by 2 frames to 1, he's winning a third, out of 4. As a matter of score, as we speak, it is IBRA 3 and GINTE 1.
You run, son. All you need for you to run, son. All you need, son. All you need, son. Thank you, Buffalo. All you need, son. Lala pesa nitakukusha mayo. Lala said nitakukusha mayo. I say sleep will wake you up tomorrow, son. There's no chance if you do that, son. There's no chance if you do that, son. You are in the jungle, son. This is your territory. This is your territory, my boy. Every ranger fears the buffalo, my boy. Come, boy.
Everybody interferes the buffalo. Everybody interferes the buffalo.
Every ranger fears the buffalo. They can go for hyenas and chupacabras.
They can
Not a buffalo, my
not a
friend.
buffalo.
Go.
I will shortly be collecting score updates from other tables and I will be updating you as much as I can tell you that in the biggest match of them all in the arena, Uganda's Ibrahim Sejema leads by 3 frames to 1 against Malawi's Stanford Griffin GINTE. Now these two have been very, very big rivals until late, when they had a little bit of unity that was sponsored by Big Hills. For GINTE is managed and sponsored fully by Big Hills. IBRA's management team is Roxbury in Uganda, but for this competition, Roxbury permitted him to play under Big Hills that are his sponsor for now, and they are sponsoring IBRA, leading by 4 frames to 1, and GINTE must start winning, otherwise an IBRA who is in the lead can mean to be a very dangerous opponent. 4 frames to 1, IBRA up against GINTE. And in the meantime, you are watching action coming to you live from Zariba's Pub and Grill in Johannesburg in South Africa, and listening to the voice of Simon Peter Chove, watching from Break and Finish Facebook as well as Peter Chove live YouTube, both streams sharing the same exact commentary. GINTE to break frame number 6. Of course, he can come back, but only if he does it. Looks like a nice break. 1 yellow potted and a red and an open table. Yellow's positioned better, but trying to find a ball to pot is something different altogether. He definitely will want to close the table, GINTE, on the yellows, but whether or not he will, your guess is as good as mine. As a matter of options, he may want to play safety. He knows that if he misses the yellow, if he tries to pot and fails, he will leave a big chance for IBRA to win the frame with his resulting visit. Big name he is, GINTE, nowadays. The guy that you are watching is now the first ever African pool player to be named Sportsman of the Year in his country. That is an achievement so big for a Sportsman of the Year on African soil to be a pool player. He also told me 2 days ago that he has been given plots of land thrice on different occasions in Malawi when he was winning those big events that I was telling you about. Not even winning, simply making it to the final. Pool lovers in his country rewarded him with a plot of land when he won the Billiards Cafe Classic in 23, when he came second at Queens in 2025, when he came second at Timbuktu in Eldoret. In 2025, he got a plot of land on each of those occasions. And it's understandable when you see his body size. Now, if you can compare to what it was 3 years ago. He's on a free shot after IBRA missing his yellow entirely. I don't even know whether he miskilled. As also, the match you are watching in the background is between Victor the Buffalo Sinyinza. He's taking on the South African Tammy Jabavu. An all Zimbabwean clash between the best 2 players in the country is also on, between Eshka Chimbwanda and Malvan Mokonza. Action between Castello Naido, South Africa, and Rashid Wagaba, Dog City, Uganda. Edwin Kikwai of Kenya is taking on Aiden Joseph of South Africa. David Mbuthibike of Kenya is taking on Richard the Family Man Mishobe of Zimbabwe. Looks like Nyaupe is also on against Eshka. Sorry, it seems Eshka and Maluva will. Sorry, Maluva is taking on Sakala, and then Eshka is taking on Nyaupe. Shortly, I'll be getting you score updates from those tables as GINTE tries to win what will be a second for himself in the match. How good will Kubel be? It avoids yellows, played into the black, pinpoint accuracy for the Malawian, attempting a comeback against the Ugandan. He will be rolling black against the rail. It looks in, but not really in. These tables can mean to be very brutal. The rail drive seemed okay, most especially watching from the YouTube stream, where I will even want to play the video a little backwards. It looked like a perfect rail drive. He did not get to miss. IBRA will be attempting pretty much any kind of safety. Trying to go for the frame now. will not come easy. He has a yellow frozen against the cushion at the top right. He also has yellow right behind black, but has cue ball to put at least a ball on the table and try to go for the frame. He has also got to be wary that if he plays defense, finding the angle will not come all that difficult for his opponent.
Juju, that's Juju.
It's just the commentator's opinion that trying to go for the frame was always a very risky business. Frame number 6 goes the way of GINTE, 4 frames to 2. IBRA leads. As a matter of score updates from other tables, the family man Richard Mushobe, the youngest player left in the competition from Zimbabwe, leads by 6 frames to 2 against Kenya's David Mbudi Bike. Edwin Kikwai of Kenya is out of the competition entirely, having lost out against one of the tournament favorites, if not the very favorite, South Africa's Aiden Joseph, by 8 frames to 4. Castello Naido, the South African from Durban, leads by 4 frames to 3 against Rashid Wagaba Dog City from Uganda. Timothy Onida, SK Motors Sakala, leads by 4 frames to 2 against Malvan Mokonza. That is an all Harare derby. In this one, Ibrahim Sejimba is down by 4 frames to 2 against Stanford Griven Gente Chapo, the master. The guy that came second in the curtain raising comp that was played last Wednesday is up by 5 frames to 3 against Charlie. Then Tami Jabavo of South Africa is on the heel by 4 frames to 1 against Zambia's Victor Sinyinza. The awaited match, where in the morning, if you watched a video clip from my Facebook page, Nyau, the South African, promised to defeat Eshka. That one is tied at 3 frames apiece between the two players. You are watching Ibrahim Sejimba versus Stanford Given GINTE. Some kind of Uganda versus Malawi. In some kind, a big kills clash, right? At the quarterfinal end of the competition, at a clash for the quarterfinal in the first life. This is a race to 9. GINTE is on 2 lives. He wants to maintain the 2 lives by winning this. Ibra is fighting for his life. If he loses this match, he exits the competition and will await his flight back to Uganda with Rwandair the wee hours of tomorrow night. You fancy IBRA on the technical side of the game. You fancy GINTE on the offensive side of the game. I don't know any player faster than GINTE when it comes to offensive play, apart from a one Jeremiah Nigel. Also speed talks of a certain Mr. Pila Mazambani. I just want him to produce better results to classify him in that league. Otherwise, in terms of his playing speed, maybe he could as well be the second fastest after Jerry. GINTE is coming to South Africa from Malawi, where he exits Kenya after losing out in his second race against Tanzania's Abdallah Hussein. Ibra left Kenya before the tour came to an end because he had to apply for South Africa visa, which takes 10 working days just to know the results of the application. Maybe this is a response to fans who are wondering why he left Kenya when the tour was not yet done. And yet he arrived into South Africa the day that the tournament started. That is the Ghost Nation Ultimate Team Championship. As for GINTE being Malawian, just like all members of the SADC region, enters South Africa visa free. That is GINTE playing the cue ball into one of the yellows. He will, however, be unfortunate in the slide of the cue ball off one of the yellows. The position will be out of his favor. He's aiming for a sharp cut of one of the yellows, goes for the rail drive, and is slightly off the mark, slightly off target. After the ongoing round of matches, we shall be having about a 10-minute break at the very maximum, and then the round of last 16 in the second life will start immediately after that round of last 16. The break will be about 20 to 25 minutes, as some of the players will be having lunch, and then we shall have quarterfinals in the first life, and then quarterfinals in the second life. After that will be the end of the day's action. Tomorrow it will be semi-finals in the first life, then semi-finals in the second life, then the final of the first life, then the final of the second life. If it will not be the same player winning both finals, then we shall have a grand final for the money. If it is the same player, that guy will be taking positions number 1 and 2. Now this guy could be the guy because he has 2 lives in the competition together with 5 other players, and he's winning a consecutive frame. He's coming within 1 of Ibra. He's aiming to pot black with a sharp cut on the right into the center pocket bottom. It is a miss. That can mean to be very consequential, and he bows his head down the table. He knows that more likely than not Ibra will be punishing him. Now here comes the Ugandan killer, having played one of the raids right behind the black. He has options. He's spoiled for choice. He could go for a pot. He could go for defense, especially given the position of red near black. He could play the red, which is close to the cushion on the right, and then play safe. He may want to play as though he was listening to the commentator. Ginte is snookered. Of course, you fancy he will be finding the black in a direct shot or off the cushion. The idea is to play off the bottom cushion, then hit the black from behind, try and sink it into the center pocket top. It's what he's aiming for. It's what he's trying to do. It's what he's not accurate with. For Ibra, his idea is to attack the frame, maybe only with a free shot. Maybe he's deciding to go for the frame and go for it now. That is the idea. The frame is pretty finishable. The little risk factor is the position of the red that is frozen against the cushion at the left of the screen. The rest are finishable. The big shot was hit in by Ibra. The 2-frame lead by the Ugandan is on the verge of being stretched to 3. This one will be well watched, well followed, and well screened on the giant screens at Roxbury Bar and Restaurant in Chiwanga Trading Center in Uganda, which is Ibra's management team, as their star player will be getting to pot black to the center pocket top to record a 3rd lead again in the match, dear viewers. Ibrahim Sejemba of Uganda 5, Stanford Given Ginte of Malawi 2. Special shout out to you, some of you that are watching from the YouTube stream. Gilbert Gwyn, your question is, do I note each and every player's history in a book, or I just text them in mind because I am really confused? You're really confused by my history of the players. Okay. For me, I just consider it like you have an artist you love, you can sing their songs off head without even trying hard. For me, that's how I take it. Otherwise, I don't have a notebook, sir. Richard Mugarura Simming supporting the killer. Kalima Michael supporting Ibra Uncle Marco. You're saying it's Sakala, not Eshka. Yes, thank you for the correction. Waswa James, thank you for watching. Charity Andrew is asking for the scores. I believe that the scoreboard is now seen properly. And the Samson PD, you say Ibra is good but boring. Well, boring is not fair. He doesn't play at the playing speed of Ginte, but he can beat Ginte as much as Ginte can beat Ibra. Every player is differently gifted. That's how I take it. The rules of engagement are 60 seconds to be taken between shots. For me, as long as the player is within the playing time, it is okay. What they are playing for is to try and win, not to entertain the fans. Zvenda Tolo is asking for the scores for Castello and Dev City. The scores will be coming up shortly. Mamba Kapala is asking why Ibra has broken 2 frames in a row. If he has broken 2 frames in a row, let me try and play back the video to see if it's true. If it's true, then I will be interpreting it as such. He broke frame number 8. Just trying to check out if he broke frame number 7 as well. Yes, Ibra did break frame number 7 and 8. By the rules of engagement, if GINTE would have reported that on time, it will go down as playing out of turn by Ibra, and it would have been a foul, a standard foul, not a loss of frame foul. But now that GINTE didn't report it, it just goes like that. It dies off like that. In the meantime, the score has been increased. It is 6 frames to 2. Ibra needs to win 3. GINTE needs to win 7 out of the remaining 9, starting with this one, where he will want to respond to Ibra's apple with GINTE's apple of his own. With now 4 reds on the table, 3 to be potted to the respective center pockets, top and bottom. The black may be to the corner pockets, bottom left. In the frame that of all, GINTE will be finding easiest to win. The 2 reds, consider them done. He may want to play the cue ball into the black. His backspin has been a little too much. White is not natural for black. He may want to play the cube. Oops, he goes for putting red off yellow simply to maintain white for black. I'm not so certain it is possible. GINTE seems to be out of sorts. The black's movement may be blocked by the yellow. He may want to play black off the yellow, plays black with the sharp cut, and misses the target in a move that so far for the course of the match is a little summary of what GINTE's game has been. From the Break and Finish Live Facebook stream, a few shout-outs to some of you, most especially you, Hilton Komazana, and calling out Ibra's slow motion play. Dennis Nkosi thinks GINTE will win. Dennis, that is so brave of you. GINTE will need to curve the cue ball around the yellow to find the black, try and play the black off the yellow into the corner pocket top left. He will instead change his mind, play black off cushion, finds it, but misses the pot. He almost spotted Ibra's yellow. He will be fortunate or not, depending on the outcome of Ibra's next shot. Arab Killer Ezra, you say GINTE has 2 lives. You're right, dear viewers. GINTE will remain in the competition with a win or loss. If he wins, he maintains 2 lives. If he loses, the 2 players are at equal footing because both will have 1 life. Ibra in the first, GINTE in the second. Malova is suffering with Sakala, says Ashley. Scores it's coming up. Mrs. Mbele, you seem to be shouting out to GINTE. Koda Kwashe Chinwanire, you say this is another one in the bag, and you say for Ibra's speed is not always the answer. Six frames to 2. The Ugandan going for a 7th. The next shot will be critical. He will want to put yellow to the corner pocket, bottom left, with top spin the cue ball to follow the yellow almost all the way, just like that. He was almost off target, and you get a feeling he will want to put both yellow and black to the same corner pocket, top left of the screen, with the cue ball bouncing off the cushion, with him being on target, with the rest being a formality. Given his current form, current level of play, you don't see him missing black like this one. The killer versus the black for the extension of the lead. It is in. The lead of the Ugandan grows bigger and better and stronger. Ibra 7 and GINTE 2.
What else do you want, Buffalo? What else do you want? These are reviews, Sadi. You crossed too many borders, too many toll gates, Sadi. Come on, boy.
Score updates from other matches. David Mbuthi BK of Kenya 6. Richard Mushebe, the Zimbabwean family man, the youngest player in the competition, 6. I'm sorry, BK is on 4. The first match to be done ended by 9 frames to 4 in favor of the tournament favorites. I'm saying in quotes favorite because when you are on 2 lives and you are on Aiden, that can make you favorite. He defeated Edwin Kikwai of Kenya by 9 frames to 4. Castello Naido of South Africa 6. Sorry, Castello Naido of South Africa 4, and Rashid Wagaba of Uganda 6. Malvan Makwanza Zimbabwe 2. Timothy Onida Sakala Zimbabwe 6. Charlie of South Africa 6. Charlie is Zimbabwean, and Shepherd the Master of South Africa 5. Victor Senyeza Zambia 4. Tammy Jabavu South Africa 2. And listen to this, there is timeout of the match between Eshka and Nyaupe. It is 5 frames to 4. Believe you me, Nyaupe is in the lead. He told me, Peter, I don't have so many matches streamed, but if my match against Eshka is streamed live, for me, I cannot lose on television. That's what he told me. He's calling it a television. He says, I can never lose on TV. He told me the same last year when playing against the Ugandan, that was Caesar, at the Ultimate World Championships. Believe you me, Nyaupe won, I think, by 7 frames to 3. He could take down Eshka home. He even had to record a video early this morning to warn that Eshka, you are not surviving. I am going to kill you. Nyaupe on 1 life, Eshka on 2, and GINTE on a foul. And Wins from the YouTube stream is asking if Dog City is on 2 lives. The answer is yes. Wasso James thinks GINTE is panicking. It is just normal in this game under this kind of pressure. If your opponent is on the hill, you will normally panic. Rotaisi Robert, you said this tournament has missed Caesar, not the other way around. Well, I may not exactly want to agree with you. The players who registered, the players who are in the competition. Safiyama Ayesiga, thank you for watching. Still asking if we have Caesar in the competition, and the tournament is no. While Fossil, you're asking where is Kayanja and Siku and Habat and Kasozi and Caesar. You say all of them are your players and you're missing them. Yes, this competition was advertised for 2 months and it was open. Those who registered are the ones participating. Action is ending tomorrow. Seven frames to 2. GINTE down against IBRA. In terms of head-to-head statistics, GINTE is still on the hill, but maybe IBRA will be winning a second match in a row against GINTE. The first 4 between the two were won by GINTE. That is in the first life at the Billiards Cafe Classic in Lusaka in 2023. Then the second life of the competition, which was the final before the grand final, where GINTE won positions number 1 and 2, beating IBRA.RACE. Something happened in the following edition of the competition, that was 2024, again at Billiards Cafe in Lusaka. The comp that was won by Eden. In the first life of IBRA, he was beaten by GINTE in the second round, and in the second life, in the third round, GINTE again beat IBRA. The rivalry between the two players has lessened a very big lot, especially after being united somewhat by Big Kells, who sponsored both. They were part of the Big Kells team that came second in the team event that ended about 4 days ago at 4 play in Roadport in Johannesburg. This is GINTE fighting for his life. Or will I say fighting for his first life? He will be consoled in victory or defeat, because even if he loses, he will still be involved in the competition. But he finds himself having to win 7 frames before IBRA can win 2 out of 8. Maybe this is the first of 7. It will be well finished by the Malawian. That is a reminder to IBRA of what GINTE can do. That given chance, he can make a very beautiful clearance and can win 1 frame and another and another. And you can look at the fans. They are supporting him for the big part. Maybe that one will be an inspirational frame. After 10 frames of play, ladies and gentlemen, it is Stanford Griven 3, Ibrahim Sejemba 7. I'm trying to establish by myself why the fans at the venue are preferring GINTE in support. Of course, there could be SADC interests at play here. The Malawian, Malawi, I think, has Mozambique in between itself and South Africa. If I'm not mistaken, yes, I think it is. But GINTE frequents himself in South Africa a lot. In fact, he has family in this country. As for IBRA, this is, I think, the 5th time in South Africa. The first having been in 2019 at the All Africa Pool Championships in Secunda District in Mpumalanga Province. Second time must have been in 2023 at the Holy Cup Championships here in Johannesburg at the Grand Monte Casino Hotel. Third time was the Ultimate Pool Championships in Mbombela District in Mpumalanga Province last year. This is the 4th. And on all 3 attempts, he has not yet reached the prize bracket. Maybe for IBRA, South Africa is not yet a good hunting ground unless he wins this match and the next. This one, he's performing so well so far. If he wins it, if he wins the next as well, he'll be getting himself into the semi-finals of the first life, which is the actual round of last 8, which is the actual prize bracket of the competition. He has a pretty tricky looking frame, most especially given the 2 yellows that are behind 2 reds near the corner pocket top left of the screen. he will have to apply a lot of brain work, even to stand the chance of winning the frame. We want to play the cue ball into the 2 yellows by backspin. Leftwards is the shot off the cushion, misses the yellows and misses them entirely. Whatever he's trying out, whatever he's thinking out, whatever he's contemplating, it is a frame that is poised in favor of GINTE. The shot that IBRA missed out in terms of the frame splitting to play the cue ball into the 2 yellows would have been very significant if he had gotten it positive. He may try again. He has made it even worse for himself, playing the cue ball instead into GINTE's red and positioning it right near the center pocket top. Now, how consequential can the shot he's about to play be? The mind is not just on the yellow he's trying to play, but the 2 yellows at the top left end of the table. It's the bottom left, I want to beg your pardon, because they are right behind GINTE's reds, which are easily portable. The cue ball will be targeted to be played into the 2 yellows, if not the reds. The shot is missed, and is missed bigly. Plays the cue ball in GINTE territory. One good shot almost certains GINTE victory, but he wants to play one big safety, because if he puts the yellow, the red, the cue ball is played into another. No, he spins it quite well, plays into IBRA's yellow, creates space to play red, which he'll be playing, drawing the cue ball backwards as that. 2 reds portable to the center pocket top. One of them is in, another to the center pocket bottom. Maybe the center pocket may be a little bit risky, but this is GINTE, one of the most fancy players in terms of offensive play, who will be now putting the last red and the black in what will be another frame by the same player. The Malawian sportsman of there pulls another frame back. Ibrahim Sejemba 7, Stanford Griven 4. I'm impressed by the willingness of both of the players to take on each other. No mind games at play. None of them wants to go for timeout. None of them wants to cool down the playing rhythm of the other. They just want to go at each other. GINTE will be having a fight of his life. If he wins this match, GINTE, it will be one of his it will be another of the very impressive performances throughout his career. Not the fact that he could have won, because if he did, he would be beating IBRA for the 5th time out of 6, but the fact is, if he wins GINTE, he would have won after coming from 7 frames to 2 down in a race to 9. This frame is very, very, very critical for both of the players. For GINTE, not just to win one more frame, but to put IBRA under loads of pressure. For IBRA to draw a little bit of hope out of GINTE that his trial to come from behind may count for nothing. If IBRA makes it 8, with GINTE on 4, with GINTE would be needing to win 5 in a row. That will be asking for a little too much for the Malawian sportsman of the year. And IBRA will be counting on his mighty pattern to bail him out. You look at 3 yellows, the ones that are in pretty good space, even including 2 that are near 2 of GINTE's reds, are all potable. The problem ball is the yellow near the top right cushion. Now, most players, for the shot IBRA is about to play, may want to play the yellow, to play it, not to pot it, but back at the corner pocket top right. But IBRA is not. Most players, IBRA is playing for a finish. IBRA puts the yellow. IBRA plays the cue ball into the dead yellow. IBRA opens up the frame. The frame is now finishable. That is what powerful players do. In one moment, the frame is looking bad. In the very next, the frame is finishable. He went for connection and got the connection wrong. He was not fortunate with the position of white after playing the shot that split up one of the yellows. He had no ball to put in a straight shot. He had to play by connection. It was not easy connection. The chance comes back to GINTE. Shepherd, the master of South Africa, has been exited from the competition at the hands of the Zambian player Charlie. The score has ended 9 frames to 7. Charlie qualifies for the first life quarterfinals. He's trying to make this one his best ever competition. If he wins one more match, he gets himself into the money. IBRA with another chance. If he puts the ball, the chance will be as good as any other. He gets to pot the ball, he draws the cue ball backwards, he may pot it, he doesn't pot it, but it is just the same because he's played the cue ball right behind black, in between black and red. It's a total self-snooker. He will want to find the yellow off the cushion on the left with big right spin. Is what he's exactly doing. Finds the yellow, but it is still advantage GINTE. The few fans that are at the venue are supporting GINTE wholeheartedly. His finishes will always appear a little more unique in comparison to IBRA's. For IBRA, going for a careful pattern which he normally perfects, for GINTE, plays and pots with speed and skill. It's what he's doing, as the Malawian sports of the year will be potting both red and black to the same center pocket, just like that. The rest is a formality. A third frame has been won in quick succession by GINTE, And the scoreline is now IBRA 7 and GINTE 5.
Thank you, Papa.
Kenya's David Mbodhibike is down by 7 frames to 6 against Richard Mushabe, the Zimbabwean family man. Uganda's Rashid Wagaba leads by 8 frames to 5 against South Africa's Castello Naido. 7 frames to 3 in the all Zimbabwean clash. Timothy Wanida Sakala leads against Malvan Mukonza. Eshka Chimbwanda is fighting back and fighting hard. Now gains the lead against South Africa's Nyaupe. 7 frames to 6. The biggest match of them all has Uganda's IBRA Sejimba lead against Malawi's Sanford given by 7 frames to 5. Somewhat, you get a feeling the game may be starting to change its complexion. While it has been played for the better part of 1 hour and 15 minutes. The first 50 minutes saw IBRA as the much better player. The next 40 have seen GINTE fighting and trying harder. Also is now having less unforced errors and his finishes are more clinical. He's successfully putting IBRA under into some kind of pressure. Here it comes again. When he gets to portable, when the frame looks a little finishable, even by his body language, even the facial expression, it's someone that is just smelling blood, that wants to take the frame away. And in what is always his current visit of the table, that is the pot. He's having thin margins, but he's using them to his advantage. The red that is close to the 2 reds near the center pocket top is portable to the center pocket, either direct or off one of the reds. Safer to go off one of the reds. He plays red to the corner pocket and critically occupies that corner pocket with his red. He was intent on potting. I believe it will do, even if he didn't. One Ugandan Ibra's teammate Rashid Wagaba has qualified into the first live quarterfinals after beating South Africa's Castello Naido by 9 frames to 5. The end of the road for Castello. Dog City marches into the competition and with 2 lives. Miss by Ibra. Maybe the pressure of a GINTE coming from behind. Maybe the pressure of the history between the two players, where GINTE has by big margin the better head-to-head statistics, having won 4 times in the last 5 that they have taken on each other. With fans chanting each and every of GINTE's shot, with the Malawian intent on coming within 1 frame of the Ugandan in a match that is now having fans watching from Kampala under pressure, fans watching from Lilongwe under expectation. 1 big shot, 1 big backspin, 1 big aim for the block, 1 big frame to pull 1 back to come within 1 of Ibra. Stanford Riven 6, Ibrahim Sejemba 7.
Hey, Stefan.
And watching Ibra the venue is a member of the Ugandan community in Johannesburg. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, I'm Elias Juko, Elias Katunji from Tungamo.
We're here in southwestern Uganda.
Yeah, we're here.
Will you speak a little bit of Ruchiga?
Ruchiga and Rugamba, Ruchiga and Rumania. We are here to support our boys. They are doing well.
Yeah.
And Peter Chobe is doing a great job also. We thank him and wish them good luck. That's all I can say.
And for me, I want to thank you in front of the public for supporting the Ugandan team and being with them, supporting them, driving them from venue to accommodation. It's not easy, but you've been there for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my pleasure. Always, because this is my home actually.
Yeah.
Uganda is my next home, but this is my home. I came here in 2000.
Yeah.
Right, my kids are here. They're studying here.
They are South Africans.
Yeah, they're South Africans. Everything. So I decided to go back to now. My one leg is in Uganda, my other leg in South Africa.
But the right leg is in now South Africa.
Yeah,
that is the workplace. In Uganda, it's like you just go to the village.
That's it.
Thank you for the time.
But there's too much opportunities in Uganda, and I encourage my fellows who are abroad. When it's 10 years, 20 years, go back home.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for the time. Enjoy your game. When he's in Uganda, he is a member of the Dice family. In the meantime, shouldn't Ibra win this frame, we shall be having an equalizer in the match. And should GINTE win this match, for Ibra it will be the most painful after the one that was the final of the Billiards Cafe Classic in 2023, where Ibra was favorite even though he had to beat GINTE twice. The odds were in his favor. And GINTE needs it in some kind of way more for the fact that his form has been wanting for the last year, ever since coming second at Club Timbuktu in Eldoret in Kenya. He's been a shadow of himself. He needs to revive the glory days. He's been losing left, right, and center everywhere. The performances he had at Club Timbuktu in Eldoret as he fouls, as well as Queens in Bulawayo last year, got him named Malawian Sportsman of the Year. But since then, he's just not been himself in terms of performances. And this match provides a chance for himself for revival, but maybe not missed, especially after the foul. Ibra, for a free shot, will be using yellow to put Ginte's red, occupy the corner pocket top right of the screen with his red. You have a feeling he will not be going for the frame just as yet. Finishing it will not be easy. Maybe the red is looking at, if he puts it to the corner pocket bottom left, then the one to the center pocket bottom, the one near the black. If the cue ball remains just there, the yellow, the red that is behind yellow near that same pocket is portable by rail drive, by connection to the corner pocket top right. That should be the route to Ibra's victory, at least of this ongoing frame. If he wins this one, he will need to win one out of the next three. Good shooting, not just the fact that he was able to pot, but also putting yellow off another, red off red. The pot also has an effect of opening up the pocket for another red to be potted, space between red and yellow. Here comes Ibra to play and put red, draw the cue ball backwards. How backwards? Not so backwards enough. The white lacked movement. Still, he can win, but the work is made a little more difficult. The shot is to play next will be determining whether GINTE will be let back in this frame or not. This is the shot to pot, have the cue ball bounce off the cushion with big left spin. He could get himself snookered. This is suspicious. White behind black? No. When the cue ball was moving, it was always very tense. But Ibra can calm down. Uganda can relax. Roxbury can smile. What he needs is to put red to the corner pocket top left, bounce the cue ball off the left and right cushion, play it simply to avoid hiding the cue ball behind those two reds, those two yellows that are leftwards. He will avoid the two yellows. He will play the cue ball into one of them. He will be aiming for black to be potted to the corner pocket top right. Play it diagonally. Shoot it on target. No worry about the position of the white. He has the chance to come within one and takes it perfectly well. Ibrahim Sejemba 8, Stanford Griven 6, race to 9. Watching from Break and Finish Live Facebook, we are now going to be having the voice, the powerful voice. Where do you get that energy, Sam?
Hi, Peter. Hi, and good afternoon to everybody. I don't know. I guess I am like this. I ooze with confidence, and it's just in me. I radiate what I am, and I believe that's just how one should live. Has been a very interesting match thus far. We are at 0 bus.
It's too late, Baba. It's too late. It's too late. Hey, go see the rat eater and the fish eater. Allow the rat.
Unlucky shot there. What do you think is going to happen? 8-6 down. He has everything to play for. He has to map his way correctly if he is to recover. Takes his time, as he should. High stakes. Ian is taking his time around this board to try and understand what he needs to do, how he needs to do it in order to get to the finish end. He's almost there, and he has everything to play for because he is right at the brinks of everything. However, he may have landed himself shortly and needs to open that pocket up to give himself position. Unlucky there. I don't think he dropped it as he would have anticipated. But now he has to make it work. Goes for a blunder shot really, because now his ball is dead. Beautiful shot, beautiful defense. Great capitalism. All these players know what is at stake. He might be going in for a snooker right there. Just a little bit unlucky because Ian can still see his ball. Would have been a perfect shot. That was pure luck. because he had aimed that ball straight into that pocket, and had he caught it, he would have had a very tricky shot with his last ball. He knows what he's playing for. Mapping his way. This time lands it beautifully, successfully lands it, and now he's playing defense. Calls for a snooker. Unlucky game. Seems to be a done game. What a beautiful mapping. Like I said, he understands what is at stake, and he's playing for the win. He's very close and yet very far. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
IBRA!
IBRA needing just one more. He's visited on this table. Should be very careful. Red's looking quite okay. And yet Ian is yellows. And Winnie, Ungizima musweni. Ungizima musweni. Asiyo. I like him. I like him. This seems to be going to a decider. Let me know what you think. Ginte going in for the kill right here. What a beautiful map. We might be looking at a decider here. A little bit of a difficulty is right there. Little bit of a technical difficulty right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me spill the tea. So Ginte is not happy that Ian's fans were talking when he was playing, and he feels they may have disturbed him and disturbed his turn. And so now he just put his cue on the table. IBRA just came in. I don't know. It's getting hot. They're speaking a Malawian language that I cannot understand. It's being referenced and everything. Ooh. Bam, bam, bam. Someone is getting evicted. but I wait. I'm not. I'm not really sure. Yes. If you can look properly on the screen right there. Oh, they not. Wait, no, no, no. I just wanted to read. It's not quite invisible from your perspective. However, they are having a discussion about it and discussing and deciphering like what is happening. And Ibra feels that he was in motion of the game, and of I mean, he was on a streak right there. Do you, however, believe that the fan was the reason why he was interrupted? Especially for those of you who are watching, please let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Should the fan be taken out for disturbing? Should the game continue? What's on your mind? Seems as though the game is continuing. Ginte is not happy. But I mean, there was nothing they could do. They couldn't give him the same shot again, you know. So I don't know. But yeah, the tea is done. Anyway, Ian, for his visit, perhaps his last visit for this match, has but only one problem ball. The question is it a problem for him? Seems not. Anyway, do you think the match could be done, or do you think that we could indeed see Ginte visit the table once more? However, I do feel like the universe has been working in Ian's favor. He did not meet the little rattle in the pocket, and now he is going in for the finish. It looks as if the game is done. How do you feel about this win? Do you feel that Ginte was done wrong? Do you feel that we could have seen it decided? I don't know. But here right now with me, I have one of the owners from Zero Bus. So I'm just gonna let her introduce herself. Beautiful. Hi, ma'am. How are you? Oh, okay. Camera Sham. Okay. No, it's okay. What a beautiful match right there. Audience doesn't seem too happy about it. Atmosphere a little bit thick. What do you think? Sing and no. I love both. Fries and fried. It's me.
What are you